The church taught you to be faithful with money. What it didn't teach you is why most faithful people still end up broke. Not because they didn't work hard enough. Not because they didn't tithe. Not because God didn't bless them. Because there's a difference between knowing the principle and knowing the system. Last video, we laid the 3-step foundation. Today, we'll be looking at the final 6 steps. All of them laid out in Scripture. Most of them in places the church never showed you. Step 4. Kill debt before it kills your future. Proverbs 22 verse 7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Slave, not inconvenienced, not slightly limited. Slave. The Bible chose that word deliberately. Every debt you carry is a master you serve. Every monthly payment is a portion of your future that belongs to someone else. You cannot build wealth while you are financing someone else's. And Proverbs doesn't just name the problem. It tells you exactly how to respond to it. Proverbs 6, verse 1 to 5. If you have put up security for your neighbor, you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. A gazelle from the hand of the hunter. That is not a passive image. That is not manage your debt responsibly. That is run, get out, with urgency, with everything you have. Putting up security here is equivalent to a debt owed. Here is the war plan. List every debt from smallest to largest. Attack the smallest first, pay the minimum on everything else, and throw every available resource at the smallest one until it is gone. Then take what you were paying on that and add it to the next. Chain by chain. Debt by debt. The same principle that builds wealth dismantles debt. Small, consistent, deliberate action, compounding in your favor instead of against you. Step 5. Gather little by little and let it multiply. Proverbs 13 verse 11. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. This single verse dismantles every get-rich-quick scheme ever pitched to a believer. Every double your money overnight promise. Every Ponzi scheme dressed up as an investment opportunity. Every shortcut that bypasses the slow, faithful work of accumulation. God said, the path to growth is small, consistent, faithful, not one big moment, 1,000 small ones. Jesus took this further in the parable of the talents. In Matthew 25, a master entrusted 3 servants with money. The first 2 invested and doubled what they had. The third buried his share in the ground. He played it safe, and the master did not call him cautious. He called him wicked and lazy. God expects multiplication, not storage, not hoarding, not survival mode. Even if all you can set aside right now is 5% of your income, set it aside. Then put it to work. 100 saved consistently becomes 1,000. 1,000 becomes 10. This is not magic. This is the math of patience. And patience is a biblical command. Step 6. Spread your portion across 7 ventures. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 2. Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. For you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Thousands of years before modern financial theory coined the word diversification, Solomon encoded it into Scripture. Do not depend on one income stream. The job could end. The economy could shift. The industry could collapse. But if you have planted in 7 places, you eat from the ones that survived. Look at the Proverbs 31 woman. She ran real estate. She considered a field and bought it. She ran agriculture. Out of her earnings, she planted a vineyard. She ran manufacturing. She makes linen garments. She ran wholesale trade. She supplies merchants. One woman. And verse 18, she sees that her trading is profitable. She didn't hope it was working. She checked the numbers, Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. The economy will never feel stable enough. The timing will never feel right enough. Start the side business. Offer the service. Sell the skill you sharpened in step 1. The Bible does not despise small beginnings. Zechariah 4, verse 10. Do not despise the day of small things. Step 7. Guard your walls or lose everything you built. Proverbs 25, verse 28. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. This is the step that separates the person who earns well and stays broke from the person who earns modestly and builds wealth, not income. Self-control. Without it, everything you earn leaks out through impulse purchases, lifestyle inflation, emotional spending, and the social pressure to look blessed before you actually are. Proverbs 21, verse 17. Whoever loves pleasure will become poor. The designer item, the phone upgrade, the subscription still running on a card you forgot to cancel. Small indulgences, big holes. Galatians 5 names self-control as a fruit of the Spirit. Every time you say no to something you don't need, you are saying yes to the future. God is building through your obedience. Step 8. Walk with the wise. Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Your circle is your ceiling. Iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27:17. But here's what no one tells you. Most financial advice you will ever receive comes from someone who profits if you follow it. The advisor, the influencer, the uncle at Thanksgiving with a can't-miss opportunity. The Bible is blunter than any disclaimer you've ever signed. Find someone whose success is not tied to your compliance. Sit at their feet. Apply what you learn before you ask the next question. Step 9. Build with clean hands. Proverbs 11, verse 1. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. Detests. That is the same Hebrew word used elsewhere for idolatry. God ranks dishonest business practices alongside worshiping false gods. If your wealth strategy involves cutting corners, misleading customers, or building on deception, you are not building. You are stacking cards. Proverbs 13, verse 11. Already told you what happens. Dishonest money dwindles away. Your reputation is worth more than your revenue. Proverbs 22, verse 1. A good name is more desirable than great riches. Build clean. Build honest. Build something your grandchildren will not be ashamed to inherit. Because Proverbs 13, verse 22 says, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. Generational wealth requires generational integrity. 9 steps. Sharpen your skill. Work like the ant. Count the cost. Kill your debt. Gather little by little. Diversify your streams. Guard your walls. Walk with the wise. Build with clean hands. That is not a motivational list. That is a financial system encoded across Genesis, Exodus, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, the Gospels, and the letters of Paul, written by the God who created every resource you will ever hold. The question is not whether the system works. The question is whether you will follow it. Start tonight. Pick one step, just one, and do it before you go to sleep. Comment below with the step number you're starting with. And if you haven't watched part 1, the link is right here. It covers the foundation you need before these 6 steps will hold. Subscribe to the Bible Blueprint. Here, we don't just quote verses. We trace the system behind them.